Okay, today we're going to talk about the Black Lions deck from David Blaine, and we're going to talk about how to identify the marking system in the deck of cards. So, first thing we want to look at is the suit of the card. If I take a card, to find the suit, you're going to look at these four spades in the corner. The top spade is a hearts, to the left a diamonds, on the bottom a spade, and on the right a club. And how you're going to know which one it is one of them will be more pronounced or stronger looking, more vibrant. In this case, you might be able to tell from here it's the top card, which is a heart. Okay, I'll try to zoom in so you can see that a little more clear. So when we look here, we see the heart is a little more pronounced than the other two. Now when it comes to the numbers, what you're looking at are the half spades on this side of the card right here. Okay, and how you're going to count it is like this: 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then it's going to start again, but you're going to skip the first spade. 8, 9, 10, jack, queen, king, ace. Okay, so basically what's happening is the ace will always be an ace in the top one. The king will always be a king right here. And the bottom one will always be a 2 and nothing else. But the middle spades could be two different numbers. So this could be a 3 or an 8. This could be a 4 or a 9. This could be a 5 or a 10. This could be a 6 or a jack. And this could be a 7 or a queen. Okay? So how you're going to figure this out is, first you're going to figure out what spade the card is referring to, or what spade we're looking at. So how to do that is we'll look at the half spade, and on the long section, or the center part of the half spade, there's two black lines. And I'll zoom in so you can see that hopefully a little more clear. So right here we see one black line and two black line on the outside. Now we'll know which spade to look at because there'll only be one black line. In this case right here, we see the first black line is missing, and we just see the second black line right here. So whichever spade is missing the first black line is the spade we know to look at. Okay, so in this case, we know it's this one right here is missing a line. So if we count up, 2, right, this is always a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now how do we know if it's a 7 or a queen? If you look at the long black line right above the half spade that we're looking at, so right here, we will notice that this space is either normal size or slightly smaller than the rest. And in this case, this line is slightly smaller, making it one of the smaller numbers, so the 7 instead of the queen. Okay. If it's the queen, this space would be bigger or more normal size. Let me try to show that a little more clearly with another card. So we're going to look at the 6 and the jack. Okay, a 6 and a jack. So let's look at the 6 first. If I turn it over, right, I'll zoom in a little bit so we could hopefully see the lines. And we count up. So there's our 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And one of the black lines is missing. So here's our 6. And when we look up, this space is a little smaller. I know it's the 6. Now when we compare that to the jack, I'll come over here to the jack. Again, we count up, This is always a 2. We know it's going to be bigger, so I'll count 8, 9, 10, jack. One of the black lines is missing, I know it's a jack. And this space is normal size or slightly bigger, so I know it's the bigger jack. Okay, so I know it's hard to see in the video, but it's a little more apparent when you see it in person. So I'll try to put them next to each other and see if we get a nice view. So when we see here, here's our 6, smaller space. Here's our jack, bigger space. Okay, so we're always looking at the black lines. So this first black line's missing on both of them. We know it's a 6 or a jack. And the black line above it, big or small. If it's small, it's the smaller number. So 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, in this case a 6. Or the bigger number, queen, jack, 10, 9, 8. In this case, it's a queen. Now, a couple other things to mention. We said the bottom spade's always a 2, right? So in this case, black line's missing. We have our 2. We'll remember the king is always the second spade. No other number shares itself with the king. This is always a king. King. And there's something slightly different about the aces. So here's an ace of clubs. The marking system is the same. So if I zoom in, we see here's our ace spade, and it's missing one of the black lines, the first black line. So we know it's an ace, and when we look here, the club's a little more pronounced, so we know it's the ace of clubs. This marking system will only show up on one side of the card. If I spin the card around to this side and I zoom in, we see 2 black lines. Okay, so with the aces, the marking system only works on one side of the card. Here, not both sides over here. And that's the same for all of the aces. Any other card, king, 3, 2, doesn't matter. It will work on both sides, this side and when you spin around this side. The ace is the only one that's different. Alright, so that's the marking system for the Black Lions deck.